What's your video game related topic, Michael?
My video game related topic that I had.
If you say the word Zack and Snyder,
I'm not saying Zack and Snyder together in a sentence. So Zack Snyder.
Oh my God. Welcome to the Power Up Brothers podcast, where normally we all sound the same and our points don't matter. But today we don't all sound the same. We have producer Michael B on the camera.
His points still don't matter.
No, his points really don't matter.
So what? That was pretty racist. We got to cut that.
What?
We have to cut out what he just said. It was pretty bad.
We give you permission to turn your microphone on since you're on the podcast. Yeah.
I know how to make things and happen and electricity. Hello, everyone.
So yeah, we don't have Ethan or Quentin because it might not seem obvious, but we aren't just podcasters. We have jobs.
The guests from last week who had the plague and weren't looking for the cure
died
from the plague.
They died from the plague.
They're no longer with us.
I found the cure, but I did not give it to them.
I'm going to edit out the part where I say we have jobs and just say this part. Here we go for the camera.
Strictly true.
And cut. Ethan and Quentin are no longer with us.
Yeah. I didn't get my plague cure to them soon enough, or at all.
How was your guys' week?
You played pretty Fortnite. Trash.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I played Fortnite. That was pretty bad. No, it was good. I don't know why I like that game. It's because it's
okay
easy
to like
and
Fortnite.
free.
You don't have to justify why you like things.
Well,
I found the game. I found the game that's going to destroy my life. It released a demo. I'm going to shout it out here. It released a demo on Switch this last couple of weeks. It's called wrought.
I saw that.
Wrought,
yeah,
like
I think I've seen
it. Not rot, like it's rotten. Wrought,
yeah.
Like something is wrought.
German.
Spell rot.
WROGHT.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm dyslexic.
That's probably right.
Void Rot. It is. It looks like Hollow Knight. It plays like Hollow Knight. It is, some people would say it's just Hollow Knight, and to that I say, yeah. They waited.
End of sentence.
They waited way too long for Silk Song. This guy, this team just made a Silk Song. I played the demo. It was fantastic. So I'm officially shouting this game out. Check it out. Beautiful hand drawn animations and stuff. All got a creepy Lovecraftian vibe. But it hits all the right buttons.
I gutted one of my childhood controllers this week, which we will talk about later. But that's what I did this week. So, all right, to the news. Okay, so this week, some interesting stuff. I've got some news.
I've got nothing.
You literally don't have anything.
Oh, Void Rot released a demo.
Oh, really?
This week. Yeah, that's
Someone was
my
telling
news.
me about that. No, so PlayStation 5 Pro is now available to the public. And if you would like one, you can go buy one on Sony's website because no one's buying one.
Yeah, I mean,
really?
they're readily available.
I wonder why.
Yeah, like it's kind of unprecedented that just no one's buying.
I predict, here's the thing. I think this is a deliberate tactic on Sony's part. They release the console at an absurd price, and then enthusiasts buy it at that price. Both of them. And
both enthusiasts.
And then 6 months from now, they drop the price.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, PS5, unlike what happened with the PS3, the PS5 keeps selling during this time period. So they aren't out any money. But then when they drop the price, they go, look, guys, we slashed $150 off the price of this console. Can you believe it? And we all go, why didn't you price it at that to begin with? And it's like, well, we got at least 10 of you suckers to buy it at $700.
You think
but this is actually good news, though.
Mark my words.
It's good news that it's not selling or that it's about to go down.
Because that means there are more Death Stranding 2 enthusiasts than there are Sony enthusiasts. Hideo Kojima released a jacket for Death Stranding 2 that cost $1,700.
Yeah, didn't
all
it
of
sell
them
out?
Sold out.
Yeah, Death Stranding 2 is also news this week. We got I guess, first look or a trailer.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, but
I don't care.
It's weird.
There's already been a bunch of trailers for Death Stranding 2. What are you talking about?
Tokyo. I guess it's because Tokyo Game Show. They had a new trailer that showed off. It's a Death Stranding trailer. Isn't it funny that Death Stranding's in the news and Quentin's not here?
I know.
Yeah,
it's because he's at home.
He died.
His heart couldn't take the.
Yeah, I was about to turn and tell him about Death Stranding, but I can't. It looks.
His heart couldn't take it.
If you watch it, it looks like Death Stranding. In the sense that you can't
do anything.
You can't piece together
you don't know what's
going on.
Yeah,
there's puppets that move at a different frame rate from everybody.
Yes, I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks. It looks.
Does
good.
it look intentional?
Yeah,
no, the frame rate
Spider-Verse.
Thing. Yeah,
no, the frame rate thing is definitely Hideo Kojima is a very
intentional
guy. He does wacky stuff, but I don't think he just does it.
No, he doesn't make poorly made games.
No,
his games are always very
well thought out.
So yeah, TGS is going on or went on.
I think it
just wrapped up this past weekend.
I didn't really see anything that caught my eye at TGS. I mean, like there was games like Death Stranding 2 and Monster Hunter that got new trailers, but what was announced at TGS?
There was probably something, but I don't really know of anything. I just know that Monster Hunter got its release date, February 28th.
It's good,
I think. Producer, look it up. Oh wait!
Oh no!
I feel so out of place.
I knew something was.
What's funny is if I point over there and say producer and they hear nothing, that's normal.
That's normal. Yeah, that's very normal.
It's not that different. So TGS came and went.
Yeah.
The Death Stranding 2 stuff. The PS5 is an interesting one. No one is buying a PS5 Pro.
I think
which is a relative term.
I think I don't even think it's lack of like interest for Sony's consoles because PS5 is selling fine. It's not a PS2, but it's fine.
It's struggling for sure.
I don't believe you.
We live in an era where a lot more people have gaming PCs, and there's a lot you can do with a PC, so you can justify that high cost. Because you can edit a podcast, for instance.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes increasingly difficult to market your console, and the way you do it is first-party offerings, exclusive offerings. And Sony has not wowed me with exclusive offerings. I feel like it's been better than Microsoft this gen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been like blown away by the exclusives. Most of them I can get on PS4 or PC. I have a PS5, and there are a couple of exclusives that I've really enjoyed, particularly in the Final Fantasy series. But for a lot of people, that's a hard ask for a $400+ console. And then you ask them for a $700 console to play it well.
It's not no.
It's just too high. But again, I really feel like this is all part of the plan.
Well, and I almost wonder if the poor sales of the stock PS5 Pro are because they announced the 30th anniversary one, which sold out immediately. So the one that's supposed to look like an original PlayStation, which I have to give them kudos. The USB-C cord for the PS5 controller.
I might actually get that. That looks cool.
Yeah.
I hate the way the normal one looks.
Yeah, they're just like regular. You hate the way the controller looks or the...
No.
The cable.
Does the actual PS5 look like a PlayStation 1?
Well,
kind of.
It's colored like it.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I don't
not really.
No, yeah. It is colored like it, and the cable, the USB-C cable, has like the end. One of the ends looks like a PS1 controller. So when you plug it in, it looks like a PS1 controller plugged into it.
But it still looks like an alien twin tower.
The
console itself.
The console itself looks like a router that you grab the corner of it and stretch.
I don't know. I can't figure out that design. Because historically, I feel like Sony and Microsoft have had fairly conservative design on their console bodies, and Nintendo has weird like cube shaped consoles.
They want this one to be a centerpiece on your dinner table. They want you to love it so much.
It looks like
the size of it. They probably want it to be a dinner table.
It looks like modern art. Yeah. But if you look at your computer shelf, the viewers can obviously see the shelf I'm pointing to.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Everything on that has a kind of similar shape.
We're in my room, and I was like, I don't have a computer shelf.
Yeah. Sorry, the entertainment center.
Yeah.
Everything on there is a similar shape, which is kind of boring. But also, when you put something on there that is like a weird modern art piece, it it stands out, and most people don't want things to stand out right
Yeah.
below their TV, which they're trying to look at.
It also doesn't fit
You
well
kind of want
on anything.
you want everything surrounding your TV to be kind of boring because you don't want to distract at all from the TV. So that was the weird choice on Sony's part. It just keeps getting weirder. I do think the Slim and the Pro look better than the original model.
I have not seen the models for those.
Marginally.
I just don't like that I have to 3D print a stand to get the thing to sit on its side because I'm not giving Sony any money.
Think about who's buying these.
Yeah.
Which would people, there's the newer generation can't afford anything. They can't afford housing.
Right.
So they're all living in shoe boxes.
What newer generation? I'm coming
None of
up
us
on
are getting
40
burnt.
rapidly.
Holy crap. I just hit 26. I feel like
36.
I've always been 50.
Oh yeah, you're
old.
10 years. There's 10 years between this side of the table.
Really?
Yeah.
10 years.
I didn't know that.
I'm almost exactly 10 years older than Quentin.
I remember
just a little over.
I think you're almost 11. He's born late in the year. You're born early in the year.
And
you are 10.
But I guess
You're closer to 11. If he was born
you're right.
a few months later, you'd be 11 years
close
old.
to 11.
Yeah.
So I'm real old, and I can't afford anything. But please continue your point.
Oh. Well, they can't afford anything, but so they're living in shoeboxes like me. So I can't. If I wanted a PS5, how am I supposed to fit it in my little setup here? I don't want to work 50,000 hours a week.
You got to get rid of your gaming PC.
That's why I pay $400 a month to live here.
Which is why you got to get rid of your gaming PC.
I don't want to.
Which can do more than a PS5.
Actually, no,
there's the problem.
It's going to crash.
His can't.
His maybe not.
His cannot.
I don't know.
I don't take good care of my
People's
computers.
PS5s crash all the time too, because they don't clean them. But that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing. The craziest part to me about the PS5 Pro, and I think for the news, we've talked about the PS5 Pro every week.
I mean, it's the biggest thing.
It doesn't come with a disc drive.
No,
that's insane to me.
I think if
you $700,
someone put together that if you put in the disc drive, the stand and everything, it's actually closer to $800.
Yeah, I think it's like $760.
Yeah.
But you can 3D print a stand at your local library, so please don't buy one.
I think that
they have 3D printers at libraries.
They do now,
depending on where you live. Yeah,
ours does.
Cool.
Yeah, ours. The one
the downtown Uber News one does too.
Yeah, you just have to bring your own material, and spools for 3D printers are like $5. They're super cheap.
Yeah, they won't give you material, but you can just
they're so
copy
cheap.
your material in there.
Cosplay.
I mean, go for it.
He's gonna 3D print a whole suit that he can't.
It's just
move.
Master Chief over there. He can't help the pod anymore, but he's a great
It's just it's the Minecraft skin of Master Chief.
It's Box Boy.
It's Box Boy.
It's just literally just a box.
Yeah, with his twigs.
I cosplay as Kirby.
No, the PS5 Pro is, in my opinion, a big summation of how weird the PS5 generation has been.
Sure.
Because when the Pro came out, there was this unanimous like what? What does it do more than the PS4 Pro was advertised with 4K. So literally 4 times the resolution
5K
of what it is. Yeah. The PS5 Pro doesn't even claim that it can do 8K.
What? No, I think it can. Can it play movies in 8K?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, never mind.
Because it doesn't have a disc drive.
I'll be honest, 8K TVs are not catching on as fast as 4K TVs.
Streamed 8K is different from physical disc 8K.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
Same with 4K.
Mega different.
Same with everything.
Yeah.
You're streaming it at 1080 and then putting in a DVD that can play at 1080. It doesn't look the same.
The DVD looks better.
The DVD looks way better.
Way
I
better.
actually think a 1080 or maybe a 2K actual video file or a disc looks way better than 4K with any kind of compression.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And so
the blacks get hit a lot, not the people.
Also,
they do. You're right.
People also get hit.
Justice for George Floyd.
It's just that's the thing is the PS5 Pro literally is just like, hey, you won't have to choose between performance and fidelity.
Yeah.
You can have both.
Don't get me wrong. I hate having to choose between performance and fidelity, but why
is that even an option? I hate that. I hate video games. I don't like the new video games.
You're the new Quentin. We thought you were replacing Ethan because the mic.
You're Quentin
here
with an orange
I do
mic.
need to be over there, but this is my good side. I don't like.
I actually don't have a problem with performance and fidelity modes on games. I almost always choose performance. I'm always a frame rate fiend.
Yeah. It literally helps you play the game.
The
better.
only exception is if the
this.
game supports the like G-Sync, the adaptive frame rate stuff. Then if I put it on fidelity, it looks so smooth anyway that sometimes I will put it on like fidelity if I have that feature.
Right.
Because 30 frames in that adaptive refresh rate looks really good and really smooth. So some games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that's how I played it. But I almost always go with performance.
Yeah.
I just like it better. I'm like I said, I'm a frame rate fiend.
There's a line where like the pixelation and stuff is way less noticeable than
frame rate
dropping
or dropping is a different thing because like a stable 30 is better than an unstable 60.
I 100%. I think frame rate stability is really big, but if it has a stable 60 or a stable 30,
I'll choose the 60.
I'll choose 60
even if it's
so that it's
lower.
smoother. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
so anyways, PS5 Pro not selling well.
Yeah.
The last bit I'll close out on, and this is so annoying that we don't get this. Of course, PS5 the 30th anniversary edition sold out immediately. You cannot get one right now.
It's being a bunch of scalpers got delisted from eBay because they were listing the product, and eBay was like, these were clearly scalped.
Yeah,
and so
good on eBay.
That actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it
does look.
It
cool.
looks really like I wasn't expecting it to look good.
The best looking of the PS5s anyway, and then like you do that to it.
Yeah. I wish it was just
the weird vents are too much for me. I feel like it's
the
just
diagonal
looks
vents.
tacky.
Yeah.
No, the in Japan though, I don't know if it's the only way it launched, but Sony selling it directly from their website made it to where the only people who are allowed to order one of each item are people who have a PlayStation network account. That bag is dope.
That's what Steam
does.
This
is a bag?
That's what that's a
like
bag
a
for the
holder.
Controller.
Oh.
You thought that was the console?
I thought this was the disc drive that was extra.
No. It's just a controller holder.
Okay. I don't know anything about what we're
but the only way
about.
you can order it is if you have an account that's like at least
Steam
level
does
4
the same thing
and has like 40 hours of playtime in any game.
That's actually the playtime restriction is actually really good. Steam made it to where you had to have a registered Steam account that was older than 6 months or something to order a Steam Deck when that came out. And that was really pretty good at a way of combating scalpers. We've got to do something in this country.
I just hate that Sony is doing that to Japan and just letting America rot.
I mean, it has to do a lot to do with laws in Japan. In fact, in Europe, there are so many laws against things like scalping. It does obviously still happen there. But it's so much harder to do because of the legal system that that things like what you're saying, where like you have to register, and sometimes if you want to buy from certain companies that get these things early, you have to register an account and you like provide proof of your real name, right? Some people are like, well, that's an invasion of privacy, and it's like, well, they're not making you do it, but you do have to give up something for the security of like not being run into the ground, right?
Right.
It's not me this time.
Oh, he didn't mute.
I didn't. Anyway, so Viva la Revolution and all that.
I'm just praying that the Switch 2 has something other than just the mad grab.
I'm relying on
you
diagonal to we're all in this together to figure out when they are doing signups, because in-store pre-orders at like Best Buy is going to be the only way we get one of those.
And a lot of times Best Buy and other companies are moving away. They won't let you do that anymore. They're like, go to the website.
No, for the PS5, I stood in line.
Okay.
For a huge line in the rain.
No, I have enough energy every 5 years.
And they do it with Best Buy does it with graphics cards too a lot, where they hand out the pre-orders to people in line, specifically because it's harder to scalp that way. But we got to put our ear to the ground and figure out when they're going to do that, because those lines, I was there for 5 hours for the PS5. It was raining, I was cold, but I was the only person who brought an umbrella, and I was also the only person who brought a chair. And so I was just sitting there. I was with Quinn. He also had a chair and an umbrella, and it was raining so hard that we formed our umbrellas into like a weird shell.
I think you took a picture of that.
Yeah, the rain was coming sideways, and so he had his umbrella sideways, and I had my big umbrella over both of us. And we're sitting there, and everyone around us is looking at us and hates us because we are perfectly dry, and we're laughing hysterically because we're cold, and we've been here for several hours saying that this was the final form of humanity that we had taken. And we both got PS5s.
Wow.
And that's gonna happen again.
So hopefully Nintendo does that.
Bring a chair.
Yeah, bring a chair. We didn't when we got the Switch. We just stood in the cold.
I mean, but it wasn't raining.
It wasn't raining.
It wasn't raining.
Were you with us at Best Buy?
Yeah,
it was Best Buy.
Yeah, your mom bought me a Switch.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
And I think she bought you Mario Kart too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was at GameStop because Tyler, my friend, pre-ordered at GameStop rather than Best Buy.
You were at the GameStop right around the block.
We were right around the block.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting.
That was a fun night.
No, wait a minute. Ethan gave me his pre-order because he had to go home because he wasn't feeling too well.
Oh,
and so I didn't get your mom was going to.
Yeah. But then
Ethan was just like, I gotta go. You can have this.
Yeah. Because it was the ticket,
Remember?
I do.
I don't remember.
I think I do remember.
Yeah. All right, well, so that's the news.
That's the news.
All right.
Such as it is.
On to topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
What is the topic of the week?
So this is the segment that our producer should know about.
I don't know anything about.
No, it's just
what is a podcast?
It's what we. We each have a topic that we bring. Same thing we do.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna give our producer.
I'm definitely prepared for this.
The time to do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You go ahead.
So I mentioned it at the beginning. This for audio listeners, I'm holding up a regular old GameCube controller, but I have gutted it and put in the new 8-bit do. I guess it would be called a.
Why did people
CPU
call it 8-bit do? It's clearly 8-bit do.
It clearly is 8-bit do, but then the company themselves in their videos calls it 8-bit do.
I refuse.
Maybe they don't want to get in trouble with Nintendo.
I refuse.
They are pretty anal about things that slightly sound like them.
They made a YouTuber change his opening because it had the coin sound.
Oh my god!
What a terrible!
They're going insane.
Just add to that
now,
guy.
This was a long
add
time
a little
ago,
bit of reverb,
and
you'll get past
he's
it.
brought his old intro back. His name's Chad Tronic, and he brought the old intro back because I guess Nintendo eased up. But whatever.
Yeah.
The point is, this controller, the mod kit basically turns a classic GameCube controller into a wireless for Android and Switch, and then it charges through.
That's cool.
And it does it seamlessly.
You have to take the old PCB out.
It's like a project. Yeah.
And then you don't have to solder anything, but you do have to cut the rumble pack out because the rumble pack's soldered onto an original.
People are way too afraid of cutting copper wires.
It is terrifying.
It doesn't matter. You just touch them together and twist them, and they make a connection. And they're fine. You put a little electrical tape around them, or the little.
They provide you little rubber grips and everything.
Electrical tape also works. You heat it up, it'll shrink. And it's not a problem.
I think that's all it is literally electrical tape material.
Yes.
Michael B. stealthily
gets rid of
his phone.
So good.
The reason I bring this up is because I love I love the GameCube controller. And I was like, a long time ago, I think it's Power A came out with a GameCube styled Pro controller.
Yeah.
But it runs on AA's. It doesn't have rumble. It does have motion controls, which was pretty cool. This one does not. But it's just also GameCube style controllers don't have that original GameCube feel.
It's not the build quality always feels.
They're not made of Nintendium. Yeah. They're not.
I wonder why they don't ever just take a mold of the original.
It is strange.
They do.
I mean, I think they actually do, but you got to realize that they're sourcing plastics from different places. The factories that make them are at different standards. Most of them are made in China, and so they're just using cheaper materials, and that's true of every third-party controller. They use cheaper materials
to save the costs and everything.
So like even the nicer ones, I think 8BitDo's ultimate wireless, or no, I think it's the ultimate Bluetooth. Feels pretty good. It feels the build quality is quite good.
Quality stuff.
I think it's Gorilla. Has a really good.
I've not.
No, I'm sorry. It's Gillikit. Gillikit has good stuff.
You say these names. It's Gully Kit and 8BitDo.
It's Gillikit.
Is it you?
No, yeah. Their controllers feel like not premium, not like an Xbox.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
The really expensive one. Why my brain isn't working?
Elite. Yeah.
They don't feel like that, but they feel like the
stuff.
basic first party Xbox controller.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to be as a third party controller. But I've never found a GameCube controller with that kind of quality.
Yeah. So this got me thinking about my topic, which is, I want to know your favorite controller and then what you think would be the perfect controller. Like you get to make it and you think it would be perfect. I mean, you can just make something up, but for the sake of all of the rest of us, please give reference to what you mean. Sure. So
I'll go first. I think my favorite controller right at this moment is the 8BitDo Ultimate Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I really like the joysticks on it. RY. Those Hall effect joysticks feel so good, very precise, no dead zones. 8BitDo also has good software for like remapping buttons. It has back paddles. I'm a big fan of that in a controller. Features rumble, motion controls, which is a big thing for me. It's not a perfect controller by any sense. The buttons are a little too squishy. I like their D-pad a lot as well. I think the most feature-complete controller right now is the PS5 DualSense. I don't like the positioning of the joysticks. In fact, I don't like the joysticks that much at all. However, which is what holds it back.
Yeah.
But the build quality is excellent. It has all the aforementioned features, plus HD rumble, plus those adaptive triggers. I'm not actually that big a fan of analog triggers. They're good for racing games.
The
and not much
adaptive's
else,
cool though.
But adaptive feels really good and
playing
is
Astrobot
a cool idea.
It's cool that like you feel more resistance when you have like a spring arm.
Yeah,
and like
none of the controllers that I mentioned though have the buttons that I want. The PS5's buttons are too squishy for me. The 8BitDo's are a little better, but they're still too squishy. I like that, the GameCube kind of clicky buttons.
GameCubes are great.
The Nintendo Switch Pro controller has really great buttons. It's probably the best feature. Now, obviously, the highest quality controller is the Xbox Elite. Sony just released their variant of it. Yeah. But we're talking about price ranges that I'm just not entering at this point.
Yeah, and there's definitely an argument to be made by the fact that like motion control has been a thing for like over a decade, almost 2 decades.
Well, and more games are using it.
And Xbox just is like, if it comes to Xbox,
Steam
don't put it in motion
Steam
control.
put it on there.
That's true.
Steam Deck, Sony has it. You can do motion aiming for games like Helldivers and Horizon.
Like, and you can make it a really subtle part of a game.
And it's very precise. Like if you get used to it, it adds a lot of precision to your aiming.
No, it does. But
so like it's
my main thing is like
mouse.
in Astrobot, the only thing that you really use motion control is like for certain mini games, and then when you're flying the ship, you dodge obstacles with the motion control.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth the same way.
But that's the thing is, it's just like, but that's fun. It doesn't need to. The whole game doesn't need to be based around motion control.
It's just nice to have it. If I was building a perfect controller, though, it would probably have the features of a DualShock of the DualSense. But
I hate that name.
Definitely different.
That you don't like DualSense as a name.
I don't like DualSense. I love DualShock.
Yeah,
because it's
two motors. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying.
You're good.
I'm not designed to speak. I'm designed to sit quietly and listen.
You're good.
And so when I talk, it's like, and no one can understand me. Continue.
You're good. I think I would definitely reposition the joysticks. I like the Xbox joystick positioning.
I do too. Yeah,
the 8BitDo joysticks.
It's the
and the D-pad
positioning.
The D-pad. That is true.
First.
That is actually correct, I believe.
Yeah, I think GameCube was before Xbox, but
in terms of positioning. But yeah, definitely the 8BitDo joysticks and D-pad, just phenomenal. DualShock or DualSense for everything
The
else
DualSense,
except
yeah.
the buttons. And here's my wild and wacky take. I want GameCube buttons.
I do too.
I love GameCube buttons.
I'll get to mine, but
I'm a big fan of that
classy.
layout.
so your favorite controller right now
is the 8-bit.
is the 8-bit do.
of the ones that I own.
The 8-bit do Ultimate for Switch, right? Because
The 8-bit to Ultimate, it's the Ultimate Bluetooth. Ultimate Wireless is the Xbox variant. It's lacking motion controls. It's lacking. You can't.
well,
do
and
Bluetooth
remember
connection.
the 8-bit do wireless is for PC. It does not work with Xbox.
Oh, really? I did not
No,
know
the
that.
wired version. Xbox only allows wired controllers.
I think it does still work with Xbox, but you just have to plug it in via USB.
No, I wish it was that
Really?
way, but it does not. Xbox has proprietary software for their Bluetooth connection. On 360 it used Wi-Fi for its controllers.
Now here's the thing: my Bluetooth has a 2.4 gigahertz mode, and if I plug the dongle into my Xbox, it works.
You don't have an Xbox.
Oh, I plugged it into your Xbox.
It doesn't work.
It does work.
No, it doesn't work.
It was a dream.
It was a dream.
It was a dream.
I'm pretty sure it does work with the dongle.
I've tried it and it does not. So I wish you would just shut
think
up
you're
about
crazy.
the dongle.
No, but that's my ultimate controller. I really like it. I was a big fan of GameCube when I argued for hours that this controller was a great controller.
I legit thought it was the future and that we would never see any other controller like it.
Yeah.
We're in a dystopia right
Yeah,
now.
we're in the
Where all
dystopian.
controllers
It obviously
are the same.
it obviously needed some improvements. So if we're looking at it, like I miss having a select button. I know it's not super crucial, but it is a button.
No,
that
it
we
definitely
need.
needs to be updated.
You know, this joystick is not the best. You could get an actual joystick on there.
Sure.
And the D-pad is its worst feature, which is strange because it's a
Yeah.
Nintendo console. Their D-pads are the best in the
actually,
biz.
I have always
Let me see
heralded that. I'll open it up to Michael B for his favorite controller.
This will shock you. My favorite controller is the Wii controller.
The Wii remote.
The Wii remote.
That's yeah.
Because I miss in the older days. I don't know if it was like the 5th generation or 6th generation.
7th is the Wii, but do you
The
mean
Wii.
like an older before the Wii?
Well, like when a console would release, like okay, an Atari. If a game is on the Atari, you have to play it. Like if you have an Atari, there's a specific way you play an Atari. If you have a Super Nintendo, there's a specific way you play games on the Super Nintendo. Dreamcast, a specific way, because everything was different.
It's not as homogenized.
Everything wanted to bring its own thing to the table.
That's interesting.
So when I had the Wii, I had to play it like I was the Wii. I have my one hand on the Wii remote, the other hand on the nunchuck, and I would walk around and play.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everything is exactly the same. I'd have never thought that there was any difference between the PS4, any real difference between like the 360 to the One to the PS4 to the PS5. I don't.
It's definitely more splitting hairs with those
Yes.
than
Every
like-
once in a while, a feature will come along, like we were talking about with motion controls or the adaptive triggers that like makes a difference. But in general, they're pretty much the same.
For motion controls, I loved in Infamous Second Son. Like it's minor, but the character you play as is a graffiti artist, and so with the way they incorporate motion controls is there's these graffiti mini games, and you take the controller and you shake it, and then you spray.
Yeah,
graffiti on it.
I
That's
think
cool.
Spider-Man has that minigame as well, developed by the same people. Spider-Man 2.
I don't know about spray paint specifically. It does
It's
have
it's in a specific
Is
minigame.
Miles?
maybe
Miles is a graffiti artist.
I don't think so.
I don't know if he
I
is
think
or
that's
not. You're
racist.
playing-
I
you're playing
saw
as his-
Spider-Verse.
You're playing
He
as his,
has
like,
stickers.
girlfriend at the time, the one who's deaf.
He has
Yeah.
a deaf girlfriend.
I think she's his girlfriend. I don't actually know, but
think
you play as her and you.
I'm not shocked that he has a
shake
girlfriend. I'm shocked that his
It's
girlfriend is
love.
deaf.
Okay.
It's love interest. We'll call it love
Yeah.
interest. I
Gwen
don't know.
is deaf.
I'm also
No.
going to go on record and say I hate that
Miles.
part of the game
You hate.
where you play as her.
Oh,
It's just so slow and such a
Isn't Gwen-
frantic action game, and then
Yeah.
you spend 20 minutes just walking around real slow.
Isn't Gwen's girlfriend? Isn't Gwen Miles' girlfriend?
no. Gwen Stacy is
Yes.
Peter Parker's old girlfriend.
And dead.
No,
And
in
dead.
the movie.
Oh, in Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
A young variant
different
of Gwen.
continuities. Different
Yeah,
continuities.
yeah. No, different continuities.
Um,
No, the yeah. So, what's your favorite controller? Oh no, you said Wii Remote and Nunchuck.
Wii Remote is my favorite controller.
Yeah.
build the perfect controller.
Build the perfect controller would be Okay, but you like the perfect is like
for you,
okay.
not perfect.
I would have to play anything with it, so it would be a 360 controller, and tied to it is the Wiimote and nunchuck,
like with a rubber band.
If they were a little bit bigger, you think the Joy-Cons would? If Nintendo's next console has big, beefy Joy-Cons,
I like Joy-Cons because they're specific to. You have to play the Switch like
they have
the
that
Switch
split feel too, where they're not like connected together. I actually like that.
They're meldable. You can.
I like being like sprawled
a
on my
normal
couch like
homogenized game.
Playing,
it's so comfortable.
Game.
Yeah, it's so comfortable.
It's a lot of
instead
fun.
of like having the crunched up feeling. Like my back gets sore like really quickly if I do that.
Yeah,
but like you said, if you're sprawled out.
Sprawl a little bit. I actually have some
during the Switch's first presentation. Mr. Koizumi showed that like he lays down on a couch and is like, pardon me, and he like lays and like does that. It seemed like a joke, but legit, that's a fun way to play the Switch.
I kind of wish they made just like a Pro controller that's just cut in half, like Pro Joy-Con or something. That
takes me into my perfect controller. The truth is that like
no one hears about your perfect controller.
I brought up.
We don't want to talk about your subject.
No, but The GameCube controller is probably my favorite controller just because like I'm hard pressed to find like I'm hard pressed to find something where I love the button layout as much as I do, and I love the way the triggers feel. Like I'm not a trigger guy. I don't like the triggers on most like the pressure because it's usually very few games use it. And it's just annoying that like you have this squishy random.
It doesn't feel good.
But the GameCube, a lot of games utilized it. Some more so than others. Like in Metroid Prime, it was just kind of cool that if you soft press, she starts to aim, but then if you click it, the reticule appears.
That's awesome.
It functionally does nothing.
Right,
but
in
like
Rogue Squadron, you could control your speed.
That
but
was
if you
cool.
Click it, it opened the S foils on the wings.
That was
stuff.
cool.
I liked that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I will say I prefer the pressure to lead into a click, like the GameCube. Sure. The other one, there's nothing that tells you that you've stopped, except that you can't just push down.
You can't go any further. Yeah.
So if I was going to build, my favorite is the GameCube, but in a very close second, and I know this is controversial because it's the internet and people don't like. There's been a lot of controversy about Joy-Cons breaking and drift. Joy-Cons are not the only controllers to drift; they're just the most notorious for drifting.
Yeah.
But I love the Joy-Con for the reason we're talking about. It's playing Mario Odyssey with motion controls. If you don't play Mario Odyssey with motion controls, that's fine. But you are
doing it wrong.
But you are missing something. Yeah. There are entire moves that you literally can't do.
I bought a third-party Joy-Cons. They're missing the HD Rumble is the only thing.
Which I love HD Rumble.
I do too. But they're much bigger and they feel better in my hands. And I was like, this is just peak. I can't. I love just sprawling out and playing a game.
So truth be told, my perfect controller is just a more ergonomic and bigger Joy-Con with the GameCube button layout. This is the greatest button layout ever made. Why did anybody go back to the Diamond? What, like, okay.
People resist
in the comments,
change, my friend.
Give me an argument for why. Yeah, our one viewer.
It's Tyler.
Yeah,
it definitely is.
It's my cousin.
He doesn't watch this show.
It's my cousin from Indiana. Tell me why the Diamond layout would ever be better than this. The beautiful GameCube where
because America is stupid.
Well,
that's the correct answer.
Look, big, little, horizontal kidney, vertical kidney. That's all. Okay. I'm going to end it there.
Is this good for shooty stab game?
Actually, it is.
Can be.
It's not great.
Can be
shooty.
It is now because the one thing that is completely different in that is the joysticks are Hall Effect 8-bit joysticks.
Oh, beautiful.
They're the exact same joystick that was in. I think. It makes good sounds.
It does. This is
I'm
cutting this.
So let me make sure. Oh, they click too.
Yeah, they're a full 8-bit do joystick.
Thing.
And what I appreciate about 8-bit do is that if you push start and down
head for this one, so
if you push the start button and down on the D-pad, that's select. If you push start and up, that's home.
Oh, that's cool.
So they didn't make you drill a hole in it and go like, this is we put a home button.
Start and select at the same time. That happens in some games.
You're done.
They didn't think of that. They didn't think of that. Does that support 8-bit do's software where you can remap the buttons?
I don't think so because I don't think this is a data port. I think it's just a charging port.
Trash.
So yeah, controllers. Cool. That's what I wanted to talk about. Have you had enough time to get your segment?
Yes.
Okay.
But first, I need to heat this thing up because my hands are cold. So we're gonna.
We're
back. That's how Michael B applauds.
Yeah.
One big clap.
I see a great movie. Let's leave.
Let's leave. That, like you're killing a fly.
So what's your video game related topic, Michael?
My video game related topic that I had.
If you say the word Zack and Snyder,
I'm not saying Zack and Snyder together in a sentence. So Zack Snyder.
Oh my God!
You knew he was. No. You teed him up.
Yeah, I knew.
You teed him up for that. Yeah. He could not do it.
I want to talk about MMOs.
Oh, okay.
There has not been a single good MMO since the year 2011.
Right there at the sentence. There's never been a single good MMO.
No, there have been some bangers.
A fight.
So okay, so is that the topic?
That is the topic.
They're all bad?
No, they're not all bad. None of them are good now.
What was the last good one?
The last good one was Star Trek Online or DC Universe Online.
What? Have any new ones come out since?
What? Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
like billions.
So many.
I mean, popular ones.
Final Fantasy 14.
That one's dumb.
That's dumb. You and I both played that. Yeah, we're like, I can't jump 3 times in a row.
Yeah. I hate you all so much. Final Fantasy 14 is fantastic.
We're gonna lose 8 of our 16 subscribers.
despite the fact that I did not like the last expansion, Final Fantasy 14 is fantastic. What do you guys? You guys don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's obviously
it's a very good game, and I just hate it.
But what's your issue with MMOs?
Because they're trying to capture. All MMOs try to do the same thing.
Yeah.
They see WoW. And they're like, we have to capture that exactly.
Yeah.
And they don't understand why WoW blew up. It was because, considering the amount of restrictive technology they had at the time, that was the most innovative of them all. It's 2024 currently.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to mimic that.
I think there's a wave of MMOs coming that are like survival MMOs that
that's dumb.
Have the possibility to at least be innovative.
True.
I'm
would Sea of Thieves classify as an MMO?
I don't think so. I think the instances are too small. It is a persistently online game.
Unless it has the word MMO in the title.
I think missing massive.
It is not.
So Final Fantasy 14 is not.
Yeah, it's not an MMO.
No,
it doesn't have MMO.
It's not called MMO.
In fact, none of them are, because World of Warcraft also doesn't have MMO.
It has to classify itself as an MMO.
So yeah, I think that it has to do with how many people are present at once.
Yeah, Rare calls it a large-scale multiplayer experience.
It's not quite massive,
which is an MMO.
M in MMO stands for massive. And so massively multiplayer online game.
In World of Warcraft, you could have like 100-man raid.
Yeah, and Final Fantasy is kind of the same way. I am hopeful for some of them, like Dune Awakening looks really good, and they're saying that's an MMO.
But Dune Awakening looks like Sea of Thieves. You're in a smaller instance.
They said it's going to be pretty big. I think they were saying like 100.
If there's a taskbar at the bottom and there's a button to call a sandworm up and it's a little animation, I'm going to be so upset. It doesn't look like that.
That definitely is not.
But a part of me thinks there's going to be something like that in it.
I mean, if you
call your sandworm.
Look up Conan Exiles. Like that's the developers. Dune looks like sci-fi.
Really?
I've seen Exiles. It's kind of ugly.
No,
well,
the graphics
that game was
ugly,
like 2009.
But the graphics in Dune don't look. The graphics are the one thing we know looks good in Dune.
Oh, okay.
We don't know anything about anything about the gameplay, but the graphics look pretty good.
So what was the last good MMO you played? Because he said 2011.
Final Fantasy 14 earlier this year.
Oh, okay.
I put it down because I really don't like Dawn Trail. But one bad expansion does not a bad game.
No,
yes, it does.
Not when they release these every couple of years, and they've had nothing but bangers for the longest time. But I actually kind of do agree with Michael B's point that besides Final Fantasy 14 and like apparently WoW is, a lot of people are thinking it's going to go into a resurgence.
Wow.
But I'm very cautious about that because Microsoft owns it now, and they're Microsoft. But there really haven't been a lot of good ones. A lot of the free ones. I played Star Trek Online for a while, and it like got worse and worse. I think modern MMOs have horrible monetization schemes.
There is no way another MMO will ever become popular because companies aren't trying to make those anymore.
Watch your cord, Michael.
They're not trying to make MMOs that are MMOs. feel the
Fortnite
need.
is not an MMO.
No.
Overwatch is not an MMO.
No,
but
companies are
not.
trying to make Fortnite and Overwatch.
Yeah,
because those are the big money makers.
Some of them
Some
like
are doing it better than Overwatch.
some are doing it better than Overwatch.
I'm more interested in Marvel Rivals than
That looks
ever
amazing.
am. Than
am.
I'll ever be with Overwatch.
But the I think
if DC
that
makes their
MMOs
version of that game, I'm gonna hate it.
It's only a matter of time.
I'm gonna hate it because it's gonna look bad.
The thing about MMOs though is that like they're always trying to get you to spend more time in the game,
which is what will make
so they
me
waste a
stop
lot of your
playing
time.
them.
They waste a lot of your time.
I think I had this conversation in episode 4 where I talked about staring into the void of a game.
Yeah.
In an MMO, the second you encounter another, like, you help the shepherd in that area fight off the Binkelborkus, but then you get to a new area and there's a farmer, and it's Jinkelborkus attacking his town, his shepherd.
I have to say,
you're
that, like Final Fantasy, other than maybe the first A Realm Reborn, is pretty good about not giving you quests that feel completely pointless. So it is better in that regard. But it does still have that MMO mindset of like, you got to go all the way here and then back and forth. It's just the only thing that differentiates it from a lot of the MMOs I played is that like going back and forth at least feels like you're doing something related to like a story.
A lot of the value from an MMO will go away if they make it that you're not allowed to sell quest items on the broker.
I mean, and
you go
Final Fantasy does not allow
you guys
that.
are more familiar with MMOs, so that means like an item that you can only get from a quest cannot be sold.
Yeah, if someone like DC UO had style things, so people would like, I want to collect all the styles from the set.
Yeah.
But they don't want to play the raid because it's boring.
Yeah.
Okay, but a guy goes, I got that armor. I'm going to put it on the broker. So that you can buy it.
See,
from
I
me.
actually don't like that.
I love that.
I don't like that.
Because if something's rare, you can make 1 million credits off of whatever.
You should be able to sell certain things, but the gearing and stuff, like this cool sword I got in Final Fantasy, I had to put in the work to get that, and whenever people see it, they know that I didn't just buy that.
Yeah,
I played Eureka, which is content that had been dead for 6 years. I played it by myself to get this awesome weapon. They're like, that guy committed, and
it's the opposite of
not
like
that
Fortnite
guy bought it off
in
of
Fall Guys,
market.
where it's like, oh, dude put in a credit card, got V-Bucks, and now he looks like Goku.
You earn it.
I like the Monster Hunter monument system in the sense that like your character becomes a monument to your accomplishments. If you're wearing Fatalis armor, they know you didn't just hunt Fatalis. You hunted him enough to build a whole armor out of it.
Exactly the same way.
That's perfect.
They don't sell.
Why don't they adopt that?
And to be clear, there are
MMOs.
expensive things that you can sell online. And what do you mean? Why don't they adopt it? That is what Final Fantasy.
I mean, when they take that away.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So like a lot of times that's how DC was started.
Yeah.
You could sell stuff on the broker and other players could buy it. No, you can't do that anymore. With certain things.
To be clear, you should be able to put certain things on there. In like Final Fantasy.
I like Monster Hunter's effect where you can based on the rarity means you can trade it. Where like
actually I think I'm
rarity 3 and down.
I did not even know you could trade things in Monster Hunter.
Well, yeah, you did, because a potion is rarity 1, and you can give me a potion.
Oh, that is true. No, that's a good point.
Yeah, but as soon as you get to materials, and those get up into rarity 4 and 5,
just to
and
use
6,
Final Fantasy as an
trade.
example, because that's the MMO I've been playing for the past few years. Like you can craft incredible armor, like end game level armor, and you can put that on the market, and it is a great way to get super stupid rich. But the armor I can only get from clearing all the extremes or the the higher level content, that is mine, because that's a testament to what my character has done. I like that. I do think Final Fantasy 14 has a gearing problem, but I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that you can't trade gear. It has to do with the fact that the gear and the stats don't line up very well. So that there's always kind of one optimal set of gear for a level, and everything else is like, might as well just be cosmetic. That's not good.
No.
So it has tons of problems, but I do like the idea that you can't just sell your accomplishment to somebody, because in the real world you can, and it bums me out.
As soon as the economy of a game starts feeling like the real world, because it's funny, I don't mean to go on a tangent, but it's funny that
it's too long.
It's funny that Tom Nook is always getting crap because he's always wanting rent and always trying to take money from you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me because he never charges interest and there's no late fees. Like, it's
That's
not
true.
really the real world.
He is the best landlord ever.
Because he doesn't care if you
about it.
ever pay him back.
Yes.
And if you leave the island for months and come back,
He's
everyone
like,
on the
whatever.
island is like, where have you been? Except Nook. He's just like, hey, what do you need? Which is, so he's the best landlord.
Yeah.
No, anyways, so my question is, as an MMO noob, not even noob, I've played them, but I'm like
I've got so many MMO ex-wives.
I am the ex-wife.
Incredible.
No, I am like the anti-serum to MMOs because they cannot hook me.
Yeah.
So, Michael B., how do you make a good MMO? Or at least why were old MMOs better than current ones?
So when I was a kid, I really loved MMOs, but only if they had a certain thing. I did not want to have to like hold right click to move the camera. I wanted it to be, I just move my mouse and it moves the camera. That's all I needed. Okay. If that was
Please a child.
That was it.
Pleasing a
like
child.
Star Trek Online.
Okay, I love Star Trek Online because
Yeah.
it was a shooter.
I
think that's the
I want
last-
MMOs to. I get really mad, irrationally angry when MMOs these days don't support controller. Most of them do not, but because Final Fantasy did, and that's all I played on there,
Yeah.
I fire up another one and go, "Why can't I use my controller?
Yeah.
You
Right.
made your game too
It looks-
convoluted."
I didn't
The
grow up
less
on...
convoluted, the better. Because
Yeah.
there's no one likes, they can lie. No one likes having 20 million things on my UI.
No, the UIs of
No.
everyone, including Final Fantasy, are bad.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing I'll say that I've noticed is that more so than almost any other genre, MMOs have so many players that are MMO players. They don't know what Super Mario is.
They're not playing anything else.
They don't play
Yeah.
anything else. So they're not really in the space that we are in the sense of like being interested in the industry. They're literally, they bought a PC and they've been playing WoW. But here's the question. Does an MMO need a previously established series? Because everything we've talked about were MMOs based on previously established series.
I don't think they do to be good.
I have a
but
box
I think
of something
I think they do to
a box of what?
of an MMO that, well, actually, it is based off of previous, but it has nothing to do with it.
I don't think. Here's the thing.
But it's still
It's
you're
still
talking
based on
about
Fusion Fall.
Fusion Fall.
Yeah.
That's
That's the
literally
crappiest thing.
Yeah.
That's literally Cartoon Network characters.
No, you know that was the
together.
first game that ever used the Unity engine.
Wow.
Really?
I'm sorry. I don't know about that, but it was that's the game that got the Unity engine on the market.
Huh.
Oh, it was like the showcase for the Unity engine.
This was like, look at what we can do.
What a terrible
I don't think it
showcase.
needs to answer your question. I don't think it needs a previously existing IP to be good, but I think it does to be successful. And the reason is that MMOs are such a high buy-in.
Star Trek Online, DCU.
The Old
Look at
Republic.
all of them.
Fantasy.
Yeah, they all have. It's a high buy-in for an MMO because you know you're going to spend a lot of time. Even the ones that I would say are good about not wasting your time, like Final Fantasy, do still waste your time by design a little bit.
Yeah.
And so having that extra thing of like, well, it's a familiar world, story, something draws you in. You know,
Yeah.
I can't honestly say that I'm immune to this. I'm more excited for Dune Awakening because it's Dune than if it were Conan Exiles. It's also a pre-existing property. If it was an original property,
Every time you say Conan instead of Conan, I'm picturing Conan
I do that.
O'Brien.
I do that on purpose. It's very intentional.
Literally, like
I like calling
the
him
Late
Conan.
Show, and then there's
He's
a
got a
video
big
game
sword.
based on it. No, Conan does not come into my brain. I
see.
literally just think of Conan
O'Brien
being exiled from his
perfect.
show.
I mean, he kind of was.
He kind of was.
But yeah, I think that that having a pre-existing franchise just gives it a market push.
Right.
So I don't think we'll really see MMOs that are fully original. Having said that,
Yeah.
a lot of the MMOs that are getting like a lot of good buzz, like Ashes of Creation or Pax Die, are original properties.
And I will say Maple Story is really popular.
Oh,
And
that's true.
yeah, that's just an original
That's a good
game.
point.
But even World of Warcraft was mainly
Warcraft was already
by Warcraft
It wasn't.
fans.
It wasn't as huge as World of Warcraft would eventually become, but it was huge.
Eventually.
It was a huge franchise.
I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is one of the best-selling Final Fantasy games. So
Yeah.
obviously there's a lot of people that started there.
Yeah.
But it was still it still got its initial player base
name
from,
recognition. Yeah. And even people who started there probably recognized the name
Final Fantasy. Yeah.
So they
I
had
don't
seen the
have
movie
much of
Spirits Within,
I don't.
and they wonder why this is so different.
That's what brought them with Spirits
Within.
You have not seen Spirits
hugely
Within.
successful movie.
It's terrible.
It's really
What is
bad.
Spirit?
It's a movie. It's the first Final Fantasy movie, and they were like, "Guys, we have a great idea for our first Final Fantasy movie ever. Let's make it just about regular people in outer space."
I am fully convinced that it was a completely different movie. That Square Enix was like, "Yeah, we'll put Final Fantasy on there."
Actually, that's probably what it was.
I mean, it might have been. It had nothing to do with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's what Cloverfield 3 was.
They just put Cloverfield on it.
Yeah,
different.
I mean, they don't say anything. But the other thing is, they didn't even like add a thing to tack on like the Cloverfield movies do. This movie genuinely has no connect. They don't say the word Final Fantasy.
They never do in Final Fantasy.
They do in Final Fantasy 16, and it's not good.
Well, how did they say it in Final Fantasy 16?
This is your Final Fantasy.
Did Zack Snyder
how they say it? Yeah.
No, I think he says like I don't know if he says that obviously, but during the last boss fight, he basically says something so
spoiler
hammy.
alert.
So hammy.
So yeah, what I would say is that that being a Nintendo kid will kind of like
if you have good parents, you will not become an MMO player. If you have bad parents, you will become an MMO
I wasn't allowed to play them until when I was a kid.
You're an adult now. You're responsible for your own bad decisions.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to play them until I was older, and then I had no desire to anymore because I was older.
And then we all got into Star Trek Online. At the same
that was
time,
because like y'all as a family, you love Star Trek.
Free.
It's free. Y'all play together online.
I've never spent a cent in Star Trek Online.
No, I never
had the money.
The thing about Star Trek Online though was it was purely social. I would not play it by myself.
Yeah, me either.
Or with randoms. So I'm not really a true MMO guy.
Yeah.
What I would say is that if Tyler, if you're watching, I want you to listen to this.
He's making out with his girlfriend right now.
I would almost watch the cord.
No.
I would almost always prefer a game to have tighter gameplay and less like like Monster Hunter to me is where most of my online gaming with other people comes from. It's all friends, but I actually in Monster Hunter have played with randoms, which is rare for me. I don't like playing with randoms. I don't like just that weird thing where you're like, what the heck is that guy doing over there? And I can't talk to him. I'm going to spam this link emoji going like this. Like, what's happening? What are you doing? And like, I don't like that usually. But Monster Hunter is so like thick and rich in gameplay. Like, dodging the monster. It's thick. So
I'm hoping for things like Dune that have a lot of like emergent gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they actually figure it out, but I suspect that MMOs will always be held back by the sheer amount of data that they have to send to keep that many people on a server.
It's less of me like criticizing the MMO, but when someone's like, yeah, the gameplay is more action packed and quick responses, but you lose the
sucky action packed though. It's like
no, I mean Monster Hunter.
Oh, you mean okay? I thought you were talking about someone who was like describing
an MMO. No, but then they go, yeah, but you lose out on the massive community, and I'm like,
never that big of an appeal.
You're literally saying that I'll miss out on like the dollar burger because I went and got a steak. It's like,
yeah, I kind of agree.
I'm like, okay, but like what? I don't understand the point a lot of times of an MMO where it's like, look at all these characters with names cluttering up above their heads.
I actually think that's a very common sentiment. And to go back to Final Fantasy,
like how different is it if it's just an AI? Like
you want to know how they fix that none of them are ever going to do?
What?
Okay,
fix the name above their heads thing.
Yeah. Reticle. You do it like a Metroid Prime thing where it's like you hover over it. Yeah. And then the name and info.
That's how Final Fantasy 14 works.
Does
do that with players too.
But 14,
that guy looks cool.
That's how Final Fantasy 14 works. It works exactly that way. You just got to go into the settings.
Michael B's perfect MMO is Final Fantasy 14.
He has never
played it. It has nothing to do with Batman. I'm not going to play it.
He needs an IP.
To your point, though, for the last few years, starting I think with the Shadowbringers expansion, Final Fantasy 14 introduced a system called Trust. And the trust is when you go to a dungeon.
Trust is just a thing.
I don't trust.
They didn't invent
trust.
Trust.
I don't believe you. I don't trust you. No, but they introduced trusts where other characters from the game that you've been playing, you can go into any dungeon just with them. You don't even have to play it with other people. So they're seeing that desire that the community aspect doesn't hit for a lot of people. And they're making a way to play this game as a single player game, which is kind of a testament to the fact that you made a good game that people want to play it single player, even though its shtick is being a multiplayer game. The trusts are so popular that people just want to play this game. It could be a not online game and they would play it. But that system wouldn't have taken off the way it did if people were more engaged with community building and stuff.
Here's what I'll say: the genius of my favorite MMO, Sea of Thieves, is
it's online.
It's online with lots of people.
And there are players.
Is that
I think it's just an MO. Just a multiplayer online game.
So
it's not an
Mario
MMO.
Kart's an MMO.
Correct.
No, what my favorite thing is that like you're playing an MMO and like you're running through this, like I'm playing Star Trek Online and I'm battling Klingons and I'm running through this area and there's a dude in his underwear with a disco ball above him dancing because a player just
we're not
got
playing
that,
Fortnite. Okay.
Yeah, just got that emote.
Yeah.
The genius of Sea of Thieves is that every time they put something into the game, they force it to be homogenous with the Sea of Thieves world.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can make your pirate dance, but he's going to do sea shanty style dance and like little like.
That's what I'm hoping for things like Dune Awakening, because like I can in a game like Warcraft or Final Fantasy, I can see a guy with a big goofy Tonberry head and be like, okay, this is a lighthearted, romp fantasy game. But when I'm in like Dune on the deserts of Arrakis, if I see someone in a Barney costume, I'm unplugging my computer and throwing it out the window.
All right, that's what I mean.
In DC, they added toys.
Yeah.
So you could pull out a huge ball and chuck it at someone, and if they get hit with it, like a player, like doing a random thing, if they get hit with it, they'll just like go flying off the screen.
It's funny.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That's fun.
So you can get them out of your No, that's
all
the thing.
People would do. They would go up to the watchtower and just spam those around the whole
So my response to you, Michael B, is that you're right about
there are no good
about there
MMOs.
not being current good MMOs, but I would say it goes all the way back to forever ago because there's never been a good MMO.
You're right.
3 very different opinions on that one.
All right, that's done for topics. No one else has a topic.
Yeah,
our topics happened, and that's all that we need.
We probably get through mine pretty quick.
We don't need to.
I was thinking about how much do you like to This applies mostly to video games, but a lot of people can apply this to movies. But I feel like the answer is different because a video game is a bigger buy-in than a movie, right?
Yeah,
it costs more. It's going to take up more of your time. How much do you like to know about a game? Going in, because a lot of people say nothing and they're liars.
Yeah,
because you have to know something. That's why you picked the game up. You didn't grab a blank box and go, "I wonder what's inside this," and plug it into your
the trailer has to hit me.
Yeah,
in the soul.
It just needs a flashy trailer.
Me. No, well, not a flashy trailer. There's tons of flashy trailers for games that I play, and I hate the trailer.
Yeah.
And I only play it because like a friend wants me to play it.
Right. Sure.
But if like. Okay, like Arkham City.
Yeah.
Best trailer.
Yeah.
Like,
Arkham City had a really good trailer,
And Arkham Knight. Like those
all the Arkham games
they have good really trailers. Those are the only reasons why I played those games. I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer.
What
I
is
was
it
like,
about a trailer what is it?
How did it sell you?
Is it intriguing? Do they do it? Is it like they have to make it like a movie. I connect with movies. So like they make the trailer like it's like a cinematic.
Movie. So you don't really care if they show off gameplay in the trailer?
Not particularly. If they're big, like unless it's like awesome cinematic and they show gameplay and it's like Tetris, then I'm not playing.
Yeah.
But if it's like
what's that game where you play Bejeweled and StarCraft is going on next to you?
Oh, that's a game in StarCraft 2. They have a like homebrew place where you can go and play game modes that fans made in the editor, and that's one of them. That's probably the most popular.
Every time you get a thing,
it's just called Bejeweled.
Advances.
What happened to Hightail? Remember Hightail?
The sequel to Minecraft, spiritual successor to Minecraft, it's gone.
It's gone.
You could make movies in that.
Yeah.
That was the only reason why I was going to
play that.
That was the only reason you were excited. So the trailer sells you on it.
Yeah.
Like the trailer.
I was interested.
Is that why you didn't like Metroid Prime 4's trailer? Because it was gameplay heavy and kept doing fade cuts?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is Metroid Prime 4. Why should I be interested in this? And it's like awesome shot of like Sam was like, and then the title. No, it's just gameplay. I don't care.
Well, it's gameplay and a cutscene.
I don't care.
We got a cutscene.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I couldn't care less about the cinematic quality of a
We're two
trailer.
different types.
I have a twofold.
I'm the blue wave.
Oh,
Okay,
I see.
I'm the blue wave.
You're the
the
dude.
blue ocean or whatever it's
You
called.
represent
Yeah, I
your
knew what
fellow
you meant,
doomers.
and you were like, "I am the blue wave."
Sound insane.
He just lost his
He
mind.
lost his
I think he
mind.
means he's part of the blue ocean.
That's what I meant.
but yeah,
Blue wave.
blue ocean
He's
market.
voting Democrat all across the board. gotta keep them out of
Oh,
office.
brother. No, okay. So my answer is twofold. One, the how much do I want to see of it? He answered and just said the kind he likes.
Yeah.
but that wasn't really the question. How
A
much
trailer,
of
a cinematic trailer, isn't like what.
That's it.
You didn't describe it though. Like, what is the trailer?
It's
do?
like a teaser.
it? Well,
It's
and
like
his
a-
question
looks like a
specifically
movie.
was,
how much do you want?
how much do you want to know about the
About
game
the
before
game.
you buy it?
I want to know
just one trailer?
what it is.
Like gameplay wise?
Just no. What is like Arkham City? It's an action game where you play as Batman. That's all I need to know. It's got an interesting looking story. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zelda, Breath of the Wild, open world, something. You got cool powers.
Yeah.
Let's go save the princess. That's it.
You feel like the base concept either
That's
sells
enough.
you or doesn't sell you. Yeah.
If the base concept isn't like the base concept has to be something that is the hook, because that's what you're going to throw all your time at.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
So like the games that I saw the trailer for and I was like, that's it. I put like over 100 hours in. Games that I was like, that looks like crap. I saw on Steam for like $3. I bought it. I played for an hour and threw it away.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But to guide you into answering Ty's question, once you're
But
hooked,
ADHD.
once you're hooked, how much more do you want to see of the game before you buy it?
I didn't. None. I don't. I mean, like, I don't want to. I don't want to.
Are you against seeing more, or you just not care?
I don't care.
Yeah. So you could see 16 trailers that give away the whole game, and you're like, oh, I'll play it.
No.
No. What a roller coaster ride this answer turned out to be.
So
Why don't you just go, Devin?
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
I'll
and
just
maybe
go.
we'll
You're not-
circle
You're
back.
gonna get a book that doesn't make any
Maybe
sense
we'll
from me.
circle back to Dingleberry over here.
yeah. Okay. So that's the thing is like, for me it's twofold.
Yeah.
Right. Is that like I need to see enough of like what the game will feel like and what it plays like. When a trailer is really like, and I'm a giant Nintendo nerd. I accept it. I embrace it. But like for Sony games and stuff, when it's super cinematic and I'm like, I really can't tell when the player had control over what was happening, I'm unlikely to look any further into the game.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, like if you do show me the gameplay, I have to really understand it. There was this game that was recommended to me on PSN. I don't remember its name. There was like a lady swordsman, a scantily clad woman.
Bayonetta.
No, it's got Blade in the title. Something Blade.
Catherine
Stellar
Full
Blade.
Body.
Stellar Blade.
Yeah.
And the thing is I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. But I didn't even download it because I watched like the gameplay and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Is this a quick time event or are you like, I think the most obnoxious thing is when they do what are called free camera shots. It is footage of someone playing the game, but they do like free
I hate
camera
that. I hate that
angles
so
that you
much.
can't actually do in the game.
That pisses me off.
And I'm like, what is this a cutscene?
Right.
Is this the game? What is this?
Right.
And that's annoying because it's like, okay, well now I don't know. So you have to hook me with the gameplay. However, what I'll say though is that once I'm hooked, once you've shown me enough, I don't want to see anymore. Because I love the like experience of a game and experiencing
You
a
should
game.
have to discover it.
So that's the first way you can get me into it. The second way is Mario.
With Mario. No, my point is kind of similar because what I like is every game is made with a philosophy.
Absolutely.
Every developer has a philosophy on how they make games. And before I buy a game, the only thing I need to know is what is the philosophy with which the game is made.
Yeah.
And so I need to see just enough in the trailer to have grasped that.
Yeah.
Like, this is the design philosophy. Oh, this game is about emergent gameplay, or this game is about very tight, like, systems. And for some developers, like Nintendo, the Zelda team, Metroid, I already know their philosophy, so I need nothing.
Yeah.
You could go, hey, new Legend of Zelda game came out, and I buy it, not because I'm just some kind of like fanboy. I kind of am, but what it actually is I know the philosophy that these games are made with.
Right.
As long as it's the same person or group of people making the games, as long as they have input, they're making them with a particular philosophy that I know I like.
Yeah.
And so I don't really need to know anything else. If it's a completely new game that I don't know that much about what this game's philosophy is, I need to see a little bit of mostly gameplay to understand that, like, oh, this is what they're going for with this game, and then I don't need to see anymore, because at that point I'll know.
So it sounds like we're the same.
We're pretty close.
I just want to know if I'm going to enjoy the game, but after that, don't show me like the last boss and like other crap in the game. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And that kind of, as like a side note to what you're saying, is the fact that like, I do think that when you grow up with a particular console, you will lean towards whatever that was. So like, I really have a hard time wrapping my brain around like what makes God of War, Ragnarok, or whatever the new one is. What makes that like fun? Because like a lot of people show footage of the game and it's like they're walking and like the run button is disabled. And you're walking, and the characters are talking, and I'm like, this could have been a 4-minute cutscene. Now it's turned into like,
there weren't a lot of gameplay trailers for that game.
Well, even when I watch the gameplay, it's like, do a fight, then walk around.
Pretty much. Modern games want to have, they want it both ways. They want to be like a 10-episode miniseries and
like a tight gameplay experience.
Yeah. You can't really have both. You have to pick which one to lean into.
Like what makes Breath of the Wild great also prevents it from telling a cinematic story on the level of something like God of War, because it would be a mess to try to like make a game where you can go wherever you want, but the story always happens the same way.
That game has a story where you literally have to piece it together yourself.
Yeah, and the pieces you're picking up don't matter.
I mean, I will say Red Dead gives you full freedom and tells a very cinematic story, and I think they're pretty clever.
I've never
it.
played Red Dead.
Actually,
Dead 2 Rockstar is very good. I have played Red Dead. I've played Red Dead Revolver, and it's bad.
That's not a real video game that is real that no one will play.
No, I think it's the beginning of the Red Dead series.
First, but it's by a different developer, I believe.
No, it's Rockstar.
I don't think so.
They published it.
Oh.
Rockstar's just a publisher.
Yeah, at this point,
But no, Red Dead Redemption 2 specifically has a very like linear story, but you can roam and go anywhere, and they do a pretty good job of it. But I think you're right in the like.
Red Dead is fairly gameplay heavy though. They don't have like
it is very gameplay heavy,
sort of.
I mean,
it has gameplay that plays itself.
Red Dead.
Yeah, like it games the gun for you. It like kind of.
I mean, it has like aim assist on the gun and stuff, but like it's. I just
mean that like there's a big gap between Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Remake was like constantly putting you in these situations where like you're like running along and you can run around wherever you want to, and then all of a sudden Cloud just starts walking and you're like mashing the run button, and then he's like, hey, oh yeah, Barrett, we got out of there alive.
What's the version that's on Steam right now?
That's Remake.
So which is Rebirth?
That's the sequel to Remake.
I don't understand.
The Final Fantasy VII is being remade in 3 parts because it's too big. Okay. And don't get me wrong, Remake's a great game, but it tossed in a lot of those modern moments, and you were like, let me get back to the amazing battle system.
Yeah.
But its battle system is really intricate and
I want
to
play that really bad. I don't want to pay $30 for it, so I'm trying to. It's not like it's normally $60 and it's on sale for like $30, and I still don't want to pay that much for it because I know it's going to crash on my PC. Like
you should probably get a play. Michael B is a console gamer who thinks that he can just fly by the seat of his pants with a computer that someone else built for him out of scrap. And
I bought the parts.
And I don't know why you're so averse to like an Xbox.
I can't fit it. I can't fit anything in here.
He wouldn't be able to play Final Fantasy 7 remake on an Xbox.
Well, that's true.
he's saying though, like, I'm a home console person.
Yeah,
you don't do well with a computer.
Also, like, I don't play a whole lot of games.
Yeah,
because your computer doesn't work.
No, because I'm not interested in a whole lot of games.
Yeah. I'm glad you're on this gaming podcast.
I know. I feel so unwanted and so out of pocket. Like, I don't belong here.
You and Quinn.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's what I like to know. Just
enough.
I want to know what you were thinking when you were making it. If I can puzzle together what you were thinking when you were making it, and it just still jives with me, that's all I need to know.
Really, I can't emphasize enough that I want to know if Mario is in the game.
Mario is in the game.
I just need to know
Mario
that.
Yeah.
If he's in it, don't show me anything else. I've already pre-ordered it. Yeah.
Anyway,
so our next topic.
That is all of our topic.
We're gonna close out with a legendary segment. This is a bumper here.
Oh, bump
games. You're actually part of it finally.
Wow.
Games that I haven't played, but I have strong opinions about.
Okay.
The way this works is that one of us, we will say a game that we've not played, but that we have a strong opinion about. It has to actually be a strong opinion. It can't just be a statement. And the rest of the table does not get to comment on it. Do you guys have it? Because I can just go.
No, I don't have it.
I can just go.
Okay.
You ready for me to go?
Do it.
I don't have anything.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
Bye, guys.
God of War, the remake.
Okay.
I think that I think that it's not a God of War game.
It's not a traditional God of War.
I don't think it's a God of War game, and I think that I think they decided to reanimate the spirit of God of War and go like, yeah, but now it's a woke.
What?
What? No, you're asking me questions, and you're not allowed to at this segment.
You're right. You're right. Sorry.
No, I threw woke in there.
I don't think there's a single lesbian in God of War.
I have questions.
I use woke. No, I do think that it was like they took a series that I don't know if it was in decline because again I've never played any of them.
I would say it wasn't. Yeah.
But they decided to make a third person over the shoulder realistic game that has like a story about a father and son. And I'm like, you could have just made that game. You didn't need to make it God of War. There's my opinion. God of War fans,
you next.
I should know because I've never played it. Go Ty.
I never played the game Flashback 2, but
no one.
I know it was the second most disappointing game ever made.
What was the first?
Can we ask
Homeworld 3?
Oh yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what any of those games are.
Yeah, you would.
I've played Homeworld 3. I haven't even played Flashback 2, and I'm so disappointed.
You haven't even played it, and it's already let you down.
It was on my wish list, and I removed it from my wish list.
Is it Flashback 2 Fade to Black?
No, it's not. It's. I mean, that is a sequel to Flashback, but they just recently made Flashback 2.
And you're just already disappointed.
And it was bad. It was horrible.
And you should know.
Because I haven't played it.
You haven't played it. Michael B., literally any game because you don't play anything.
I do actually, this makes me livid. Astro Boy.
Astro Boy.
Whatever that new, what's the new platform?
It's called Pluto.
No. That's the Amazon. It's the Netflix series.
Astro Boy is an
Astrobot.
Astrobot. Yes, the brand new PS5 game.
It should not be released on the PS5. It should be released on the Nintendo Switch because no one's going to buy it now.
Right.
And no one's going to play it.
Right.
And neither will I. Because I never played
Astrobot, who flies around on a giant PS5 controller.
He should be on the Nintendo
on his mothership
Switch.
That is a PS5.
Yes.
Should not be on PS5.
No.
It should be on Nintendo Switch.
Correct.
I'm not commenting on it. I'm just summing it up.
It should be a free-to-play browser game.
Good night, everybody.
And you should know.
Because I never played it.
There you go. Thank you for watching.
This is our worst episode.
If you're on YouTube, which is the only place that we are, like, comment, and subscribe, please.
Don't do that.
Please.
Bye.
Don't do any of those things.
Thank you.
I don't want them.
This
we need a
went
Patreon.
so well because Ethan and Quentin weren't here.
you.